Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far one of the most heartbreaking and disheartening seasons I have been a part as a Cowboys fan. I've never been more disappointed in a ball club, in the way a team shows up, in the way a team acts professionally, the desire to want to win. It's not there. And it starts with your coaches. It mainly starts with Jerry Jones, but it starts with the owner, the organization, down to the coaches, down to the players. This team is a joke. I wanted to make a whole separate video on all the drama that happened last week, but I was going to let it go by. Because last week felt like, on a bye, that the Cowboys couldn't get away from some sort of terrible criticism. There was something stupid that was coming out by media every step of the way last week. And then we move on to this game. You're coming off the bye week. You just got pounded at home by the Detroit Lions. One would argue, and the stat was before the game, hey, Big Mike is always better after the bye. He's like unbeatable after the bye. And it's like, well, the 49ers are without Christian McCaffrey. They're without Juwan Jennings. They're without a lot of key defensive players. The offensive line is nowhere as good as it usually has been in the past. There's a chance we could beat this team. And that's how it was for most of the first half, you know. At halftime, it was 10-6. It was like, hey. Or 10-3, 10-6. I don't remember. Who cares? It's irrelevant. I was like, well, going into the game, I don't have high hopes for this team. I already know we suck. But part of me was like, okay, we could probably win this game. All right. We could say we beat the 49ers. We got punched in the mouth in the second half. And we're going to get into all that. But I just want to start it off with how terrible this football team is. And I'm going to just give you the stats real quick. A rundown of the game. And why we need a whole organization scrap. But here we go with the stats. So we're going to start with the 49ers. Brock Purdy was 18 for 26, 260 yards. He had one touchdown. He got sacked twice. Miss Garendo guy, he had 14 carries for 86 yards, average 6.1 yards per carry. Brock Purdy averaged 7 yards per carry. We'll get to one stat, and there's a crazy stat about Brock Purdy compared to our rushing attack. Yeah, it's weird. Jordan Mason got hurt, so I don't even count him. Receiving wise, the 49ers had 6 catches for 128 yards. George Kittle did. Deebo Samuel had 4 catches for 71 yards. Ricky Pearsall had 4 catches for 38 yards. That's not even a story. Dak Prescott was 25 for 38. 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A lot of that was garbage time. Ezekiel Elliott, 10 carries for 34 yards. 3.4 yards a rush. Dalvin Cook, the guy who we've been waiting and hammering for, like, oh, give Dalvin a chance. No, six carries for 12 yards. Average 2 yards a carry. CeeDee Lamb, 17 targets. 13 catches for 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. We'll just get to stats. I'll give my opinion on all this. Tolbert, 3 catches for 44 yards. Jake Ferguson, 8 targets for 6 catches for 23 yards. Terrible. 3.5 yards a catch. Really? And that's all. And then the most glaring stats. Total yards. They outgained us in yards by almost 200 yards. They had the same amount of passing yards. We had 56 rushing yards. They had 223 rush yards. And guys, Brock Purdy had as many rush yards as our whole offense had. Mind you, Brock Purdy is not a rushing quarterback. That's an indictment on the defense and how garbage our run game is on offense. We had less penalties, had the same amount of first downs for the most part, had more turnovers, obviously, same sacks, same amount of plays. It's not the story of the game. We're going to start with the coaching staff. Mike McCarthy has to be fired. The whole coaching regime needs to go. Brian Schottenheimer, don't know why he's there. He don't call plays. He doesn't do anything. He's just there taking up space. Mike Zimmer, it hasn't been a great experience. I don't think you've been given a fair shot, but hey, we just got to clean house. You're old. Get out. What did you do over your bye week? Offensively, we haven't had an efficient pass game. We have not been able to run the ball. We haven't been good in the red zone. So one would have argued, had time to sit and watch the film, look at other people's film, look at film with the old Dak Prescott regime, just say, hey, let's just take some things that made you reason why we were so efficient in the red zone this year, why we were so efficient at running the ball, just implement that into the game plan for this week and no. Outside of the first half, it looked like this team done nothing but kick up their feet, play some video games, go to the movies, chill with the wives, and just they done nothing pertaining to wanting to win this game during the bye week. Nothing. I just don't understand how a team can be so unprepared. The first half was like, okay, we have a shot to win this game. Do you come out in the second half, make no adjustments, and you get 21 unanswered points on your dome? The offense looks like they have never even ran plays together before, and the defense can't stop a cold. Mike McCarthy's got to go. He doesn't prepare his players. I don't think he even motivates his players. He's not a leader of men, in my opinion. I think he's a nice guy. The players probably like him. But sorry, that's not the key for winning ball games. You need a coach that's going to hold you accountable. Mike McCarthy don't hold guys accountable. He lied to even get the job in the first place. So why would I even have the faith that this man is going to get my team ready to win a Super Bowl? Because this team was Super Bowl or bust. Call it however you want. This team was Super Bowl or bust. Easily Super Bowl or bust. The offense stinks. I'm going to have a brain aneurysm for the amount of times that I see a concept play. It is a fake handoff up the middle, take it right shotgun. Dak Prescott, guess what? You got CeeDee Lamb running a go route, you got Devontae Turpin running a hitch route, and you got Jalen Tolbert running another hitch route. That is the concepts. Or it's Devontae Turpin, you run the go route. CeeDee Lamb, you run a comeback route, and Jalen Tolbert, you just sit there and look good. Oh, and by the way, Jake Ferguson, yeah, you just run a 1 yard little out route. This is the worst offensive scheme in football. The Panthers got a better offense schematically. All the garbage teams has got a better offense schematically. This offense don't set up Dak Prescott to be successful. And that moves into Dak Prescott. You're not playing good, bro. You just got paid $60 million. You think you'd want to put up a good impression after getting your bag. You're by far having the worst season of your career. And it's not even close. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm going off eye test. He looks bad. The 2 picks that he threw, they're bad. One, he was under pressure, forced a 40-yard go ball to Devontae Turpin. Safety picks it off when CeeDee Lamb was wide open on the opposite side of the field. He's not seeing the field well. The next, he rolls out, throws across his body, tries to float it over Lenore. Of course, targeting CeeDee Lamb as always, and it's picked off. Dak Prescott is not playing good football. And a lot of that has to do with they cannot run the football. We have the worst rushing attack in the NFL. We had 56 rushing yards altogether. We were hoping and praying Dalvin Cook was the answer, but he's not. Zeke Elliott is not. He's washed. Rico Dowdle got sick all of a sudden. All the Cowboys fans on Twitter was like, "Oh, this was planned. This was just a reason to let Zeke be able to play again." That is the state of this franchise. And moving on from Dak Prescott, this is the best we're going to get. What have you seen in the 8-year career going on year 9 that makes you think that Dak Prescott is going to be the reason why you win some ball games? In garbage time, mind you, they were down 17. They were down on, what does it say? Was it 21? Was it down 24? I think it was 24. They scored 2 touchdowns. No. They were down 20. They were down 20 points. The game felt over. You know, I already knew we were losing. You know, who cares? And then, oh, here comes Dak Prescott. Garbage time. Dak, as usual, goes down 2 straight touchdown drives. And the defense actually gets a stop. It's like, wait, they're fixing to punt us the ball with 3 minutes left. No timeouts. Down 6. It's like, oh, Dak might actually bring us back after what he did with the Steelers. All right, Dak says, hold my beer. And this is indictment on Mike McCarthy too. We ran 4 straight pass plays, 4 straight incompletions, turnover on downs. One of the passes, I think it was the second pass, it hit Kevontae Turpin right in the face. It was a dot, I'll give you that. But why are we running a 40-yard go ball? Guys, we had 3 minutes and 3 seconds. I remember it vividly. We had the ball on our, I don't even remember. It was on our side of the field. I know that. And we couldn't do anything with it. The very first play, Dak almost threw a pick. It would have been his 3rd pick of the game. I think Lenore would have picked it off, but knowing Fred Warner didn't see Lenore behind his back, he tipped it away. And it gave Dak new life. And then I exactly can't even remember exactly what even happened the 3rd play. And in the 4th play, it was a questionable pass interference call, but the officials ended up making the right call, and that the wide receiver Jalen Brooks and the DB got their feet tangled together, and it caused them to fall. That was our game-winning drive. That has been Dak Prescott's problem his whole career. I remember coming out when we played the Steelers, it was like, it was new because we gave that new contract, and he gave us, it was the first time when the game actually mattered that Dak Prescott actually took us on a game-winning drive. When the game was in the balance, you needed to play, you need to go play Superman, you make a play, carry us and win the game. Pat Mahomes-esque type stuff. He's not Pat Mahomes, obviously. I'm just saying Pat Mahomes Tom Brady-esque stuff. Any Hall of Fame quarterback type stuff that a Hall of Famer would do. And they gave you cause to pause. I was like, okay, Dak should be able to do this. But he didn't do it. He didn't even come close to doing that. That is what it's going to be like for the Cowboys for the rest of this contract. Unless they pull out 2015, they end up having the best running back in the league, have the best O-line in the league, and have a defense that actually knows how to stop the run. But it's not going to happen. The O-line is terrible. Terrence Steele acts like ever since he's been post-ACL, he's hoodwinked us. We gave him that contract. He's played terrible. Nick Bosa was having a field day on him. Zach Martin, it's unfortunate to say, Zach Martin is washed. Cooper Beebe has some promise. Tyler Smith was an all-pro. And Tyler Guyton's going to have to go through his growing pains. Next season, Terrence Steele and Zach Martin does not need to even be on the roster. It's that bad. They get no push. A lot of that has to do with the play calling. Mike McCarthy's run plays are either inside zone, half-back draw, or outside zone. There's no pulling centers, there's no pulling guards, nothing end arounds, nothing. We may run one end around. Nothing, there's no creativity to keep the defense guessing. It's just saying, hey, O-lineman, you 5 go up against their 5 to 6, try and out-muscle them, try and out-power them, and allow us to get like 5+ yards. I can count on my hands how many 10+ yard runs we've had this season. The Niners had like 7, 8, 9 against us just in this one game. It's terrible. Wide receiver wise, Dak don't trust his wide receivers. Why is CeeDee Lamb getting 17 targets? The Pat Mahomes of the world and Travis Kelce's not getting 17 targets. I don't care how good Travis Kelce's playing that game. Same thing with Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill. He's not getting 17 targets. Jake Ferguson, we all thought he was going to be had the potential, even the Shannon Sharps of the world, and then the Travis Kelce's. He came out and said he resembled Travis himself a lot. He's supposed to be a top 5 tight end this year. He looks like one of the worst tight ends in the league because of how terrible this offense is. Jake Ferguson was so good in this game that he had to make plays for himself. He's so underutilized. And it's frustrating. And don't even get me started with the defense. The Mozzie Smith experiment's over. Donovan Wilson, my gosh. Get him off the field now. The amount of times that I counted on my fingers in that second half when he was lost and got burned, he's lost. He is a deer in headlights right now. Diggs, we'll get to him later on in the video. He's growing. He is post ACL year. He's going to have a rough year. We're just going to have to accept it. When Bland comes back, he's going to get some help. That'll take some weight off his shoulders. But it's not good. DBs are not good. Safeties are not good. Hooker looks old. Donovan Wilson, he don't know where he's going to be at. He can't do nothing but Donovan Wilson, the only thing he's good at is hitting somebody. He can't play coverage, and he can't stuff runs. He's only good at hitting somebody in the open field, and he's not even that good at that. Linebacker play is the only thing I can say is positive out of the defense. Demarion Overshawn looks like a star in the making. I love Maurice Lewis-Fowl, and of course Eric Kendricks. He is a great linebacker, even though he is on a 1-year contract, and I doubt we will bring him back next year. Don't even get me started with the defensive line. Granted, we have Micah Parsons and D-Law out, but trust me, that wouldn't help that defense not one bit. We can't stop the run. Our defensive interior is the worst in the league. Mozzie Smith is 119 out of 119 on Pro Football Focus. The only positive I can say out of that game was Chauncey Golston actually looked pretty freaking good at defensive end. Like, viable. The defense stinks. They could not stop a cold. If you got a good running team, good running offense, you're gonna have a field day on the Cowboys. In this game in particular, you could have put Shannon Sharp back there at running back. Shannon Sharp would have ate us alive. Broken hip replacement, no. That's how bad this defense is. And I think it's personnel. I don't think it's scheme. On one side of the ball, I think it's scheme. It's not much of the players, which is offense. Outside of running back, because our running backs are terrible. And in defense, I think it's personnel. I don't think it's scheme. You need meat and potatoes on the line. Our defensive line looks like one of the smallest individuals when compared to other teams. Micah Parsons don't even need to even be on the line. Micah Parsons gets bullied on run plays. Let Micah Parsons be a third down rushing guy. This organization is in a bad spot. And then after giving up a big lead, Dak Prescott not coming up big, you get smacked in the mouth by the 49ers for the 4th straight time in the past 3 years. You want to know how terrible this culture is? Mike Leslie, a reporter in Dallas, I don't know what news anchor he works for, posted a video of Trayvon Diggs trailing on a George Kittle pass catch. They ended up getting to the 1-inch line. And he questions Trayvon Diggs' effort. A very, very reasonable and relevant opinion and just observation, in my opinion. This culture is so toxic and these boys feel so entitled that Trayvon Diggs had the nerve to meet him outside post-game, outside the locker room. The first thing he does is get on his phone, check his mentions, and goes confronts the guy and telling him he doesn't know football and that he can't do what you do. Really, Trayvon? This is the point about the culture this team is set. I think this team thinks that us fans are supposed to be privileged that their that they're on the Cowboys and that we should be privileged to get to watch them play every day. Last time I checked, there's hardworking fans that is paying a crap ton of money each week. You have a home game to go watch you play. We have been suffering for 30 years to see this team be relevant in the playoffs when it mattered most. And this is the way we are treated? You expect us to deal with what this terrible, lackluster kind of play that you're doing? And we're going to we're going to watch the clips together right now.
I'm going to just let you, take it away. Like, what's your thoughts? Why did you react, the way you did? And, what's your thoughts about that? Media trying to portray an image that isn't there. Because, and then before you go, I do think, he was wrong because obviously you're in man coverage and times you got to see it, kid was going upfield. So the narratives that he's trying to drive from the video was wrong, but kind of give your thoughts what led to that reaction and that outcome.
Yeah, I just felt like, it was unnecessary. I just felt like, he was trying to use my name, for clicks. And, after the game, I just happened to see it, and I clicked on it, I seen who it was. I was like, oh, he right here. Like, I just saw you. So I went up to him, and I just spoke how I felt. I felt like there was a lot of emotions, just losing, coming out the game. We fresh off the loss. I'm a competitor, so, I wanted to win. So, just a lot of emotions, and, I just kind of let my, emotions get the best of me. But, at the end of the day, it still doesn't make it right for anybody just to be saying anything or just trying to throw dirt on your name or make you, seem like you're doing bad or a bad job, because, I felt like I played my hardest game yesterday. I felt like, I did everything I could. I felt like, I was tackling, setting the edges, just doing everything to help my team win.
Micah Parsons, what do you mean by it was misleading? And no, Trayvon Diggs, he's not trying to use your name for clicks. The post was simply pointing out how you were lollygagging on a play where George Kittle could have potentially scored a touchdown. He ended up being short because you were in on the tackle. But he could have been shorter. Because I don't know, maybe you were guessing that the three dudes over. I don't have the clip on me right now, and I'm not going to look it up. But basically, was Trayvon Diggs just guessing the other three guys were going to just tackle him? Trayvon, on the football field, you're expected to give you 100%. Every play. If that was DeMarion Overshawn, I promise you, DeMarion Overshawn would have cut a backflip to get over there where he was at and knock his head off. And I get it. I understand. Yes, I saw you. Your play shocked me. You were actually setting the edge. You were tackling. You was landing blocks on people, putting a shoulder into somebody. I even said it during the game because I was talking to my dad. I was like, dang, did I just see Trayvon Diggs put a shoulder into Kyle Juszczyk? I get it, Diggs. I totally get it. Why I really think that Diggs was so hot-headed. He was so mad that he played actually pretty well and was like, dang, we still didn't win. We still could stop nobody. And then after having to deal with that, thinking about that, the first thing he does when he gets on his phone, he sees somebody in the media, in Cowboys media, getting at him, nitpicking about one little play. Yes, is it a nitpick? Yes, Diggs. But it's a valid reason to point out what this football team looks like each play. Nobody gives 100% effort. Nobody wants to tackle. Nobody wants to get down and get dirty, be physical. That's what we're getting questioned about. We get called Charmin Ultra Soft each week we play somebody. It's just an ongoing theme here, Diggs. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. But this is the culture we have set with this team. They think they're invincible. You can't say nothing about them. You can't critique them. And at the end of the day, they're still America's team. They still are the highest paid franchise in sports. And that culture is set by the owner. Because the owner thinks this football team's good enough. We got our guys. No, you don't. Diggs, you're frustrated because you know you don't have dudes on that field with you that want to win as badly as you do, who work hard as good as you do, who are playing as hard as you are. But Jerry Jones said he's got the guys. You know, I got a running back. He's Ezekiel Elliott, who ain't been good in 4 years. I got you, Dalvin Cook, but he's old, and he don't have a line to run behind. Well, our wide receivers is good. Then why is Dak Prescott forcing 17 targets to one guy? And there's no such thing as a number 2 receiver on our team at the moment, and it was like that before Brandon Cooks got hurt. Why is that, Jerry Jones? Why is it that every time somebody plays, they just have a field day in the run game, offensively? Why is that, Jerry Jones? But we got our guys. That's just how it goes. That is the atmosphere that's been set in Dallas. And that's the reason why they're never going to win. And they're not going to win for years to come. Us Cowboys fans, we need to just get used to what this is, because it is going to be the norm for years to come. And I saw a thing on Micah Parsons' podcast where he basically it was basically comment on if they are in a meltdown. And let's just see what he had to say.
What do we say to the critics who say that we're in a meltdown? Right now, I feel like this is the best. If you were telling me, we were down all these defensive players and a few offensive players, and we'll only be down, we would be leading at half and maybe lose a game by 6 to the San Francisco 49ers, and knowing that we're going to get those starters back, I'll say you're delusional, bro. If you don't think me and D-Law, Bland, anybody like that can make a stop, make a play at any moment in that game, you're just outrageous. You're delusional. You're going to scheme differently.
We're missing legitimately key pieces. Like a lot of it is messed up right now because it's just what we're working with. We're trying to make the best of it. It's just messed up right now. We just gotta thug it out. And I feel like we doing a good job of trying to figure it out. And it's not like we playing scrubs. It's not like our schedule is easy. Like we playing some tough teams.
Playoff
really tough
contending teams. And people don't realize also, like, Kittle don't usually go out for routes when I'm playing. He's chipping, he's staying in. Like, people forget presence of players change game plans, change everything about what a team could potentially do. You know what I'm saying? So a couple 3rd and 5s might be different calls.
It's like chess.
Exactly.
Did Micah Parsons just sit there and say that George Kittle don't usually go out for routes when I'm on the field? Wasn't it last year when George Kittle scored a touchdown on us and literally had a F Dallas t-shirt on up under his jersey? This is what I'm talking about. They are delusional. They calling us delusional, but they're delusional. Micah Parsons, how are you and DeMarcus Lawrence going to help us stop getting gashed by the run? In my opinion, I actually think our run defense is better without you. Statistically, it don't show, but we don't give up as many 10 plus yard plays in the run. And who on offense is hurt? Brandon Cooks, the guy that never gets the ball, who's just out there doing cardio. And what's Deron Bland going to do? He's not the issue. How's he going to help us stop the run? It's what I'm saying, y'all. This team is as delusional as the owner. Us fans who have no background of playing football, who are just seeing it from the outside looking in, who has no football expertise, no team building GM expertise, ownership expertise, head coaching expertise, none. We can look at this team and tell they're not that good enough. Even you're talking about with talent, with elite teams, they didn't have Jawan Jennings. Their O-line was banged up. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey. No Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel played half a game. And you still got smoked? And it ain't that you lost by 6, big dog. That game was over way earlier than that. That was garbage time, garbage yards, empty calories, as Shannon Sharp likes to say. This is the problem. It's disappointing. Sometimes it wants me to trade it. Sometimes I be wanting to trade Micah Parsons. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't. I'm not lying. It's stuff like this because I know he's part of the reason why the culture is the way it is. He's that delusional. And to a degree, he has to be delusional. You can't walk out in public on your podcast, say, hey, we suck. You know, we don't have the guys, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But behind the locker room, you better be saying, hey, you guys suck. We're not good. We all need to be better. Hold each other accountable. That's what needs to be going on in that locker room, but I know that's not it. It's just like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones probably comes here and says, y'all guys played well. We don't have all our guys yet, but guess what? We're getting healthy. I do think we have a great team. We've just been hit in the mouth. We're going to bounce back. They're not bouncing back. They're not making the playoffs. The 7th seed right now is the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you really think they can beat the Eagles when it really mattered in Philly? Do you think they're going to beat the Commanders? I know they're division games and they can swing either way. But right now, in the betting odds, the Cowboys are not going to be favored in no games. Any big game. They're not going to be favored. They're not going to be favored this week against the Falcons. I doubt they're not even going to be the favorites at home. They're not going to be the favorites against the Texans. They're not going to be the favorites against the Commanders. They're not going to be the favorites against the Eagles. It's the reality of the season and the reality of the future. Unless something drastically changes over the offseason, it's going to be like this way for a long time. And it's sickening and it's sad and it's depressing. I wanted the Cowboys to be great. Did I think we were winning the Super Bowl this year? No, but we were Super Bowl or bust. And now we're not even going to make the playoffs. If you look at their schedule, what games do you think they're going to win? I don't have them winning this weekend against the Falcons. I don't have them beating the Texans. I don't have them beating the Commanders or the Eagles whenever they play them. It's not going to happen. It's the state of this team right now. This team's terrible. And nothing's going to change. Michael Parsons can come back. D-Law can come back. Brandon Cooks can come back. It's not going to matter. It's going to be the same thing. And we're going to hear the same comments post-game. It's a culture problem. It starts with the owner. And it trembles down to the players. This ain't a winning organization. They're worried about being relevant. They think it's a privilege to watch them, and they think it's a privilege that you're a fan of them, and they think it's a privilege that you get to watch them play. That is the culture that's been set by the owner. They don't want to win. They want to catch their bag, get their bag, and screw us fans over. They don't care about us. They don't care that we want to win more than... I bet you 5 times out of 10, I want to win more than any of them suckers do. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Cowboys fans want to see them win more than they actually want to win. Is it a disrespectful thing to say? Yes. Do they work hard? Yes. There was no shot in my lifetime I could have been a professional athlete. Y'all are one of the best athletes in the world. But there's no way you can go on a podcast, go out in interviews, and look at and have a straight face and say that we're good enough to win. We have the guys, and we want to win. There's no way you can look at your roster and look at your team and say that. And there's no reason as an owner you look at your team and not make no free agent signs, not making no moves at the trade deadline, and you're looking at your team and saying, man, we got a good football team. It's not. Any person with the right mind that's looking at this team each week in and week out, knows this team sucks. And I know this has been a long rant and we're going to cut it off here. But Cowboys fans, gear up. We got a dark and gloomy next couple years ahead of us. It's sad to see. We got DeMichael Parsons. He's going to get signed. We're going to have CeeDee Lamb. We're going to have Dak for another 4 or 5 years. And hopefully they re-sign Jake Ferguson. These are going to be the core guys. We're just going to have to build around them. Draft a running back. We got to draft a whole lot because we know Jerry ain't going to sign their free agents. But without making this video insanely long, if you did enjoy my 35+ minute rant, drop a like on the video, guys. If you keep enjoying this content, let me know if you want to hear about some perspective on other games. I'm actually want to talk about a couple more different things that's happening in the NFL. Just let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see Jay's picks? Do you want to see my picks of the week again? Leave a comment down below about that. Drop a like on the video. Do not forget to subscribe. Road to 100 subscribers. We're almost there, guys. It's been a pleasure. Be sure to check out all my other videos and playlists at the end of this video. And be sure to check out all my other sports content. Comment down below. Do you think the Cowboys season is over? Do you think they'll make the playoffs? Do you think Dak sucks? Do you think Jerry Jones needs to be fired? Fire the GM. It's a movement. Let me know down below in the comments. I love you guys. Have a great day. Peace, love, and positivity. Y'all. See ya.